Good evening YouTube, Bystial Goat here, and today we're going to showcase a new build of Mannadium after the releases in DUNE. Now, one thing I want to say before we begin this video, this is not a Calamity build. I don't currently have Crimson Dragon, and if I do have it, I'll probably be going for more level 10 things, like going Baron into Disparter, because I think the Calamity build is a bit too fragile. However, we do have some new additions to this deck, including finally a Baron. So let's get into it. We're still on the 2 visas. Honestly, I think I would like to upgrade this to 3, maybe when the new starter set comes out. But 2 works pretty well in this build, because we're still winning the Bystials. The best card in the deck is still Mannadium Room Heart. This card can pop your orbs to give you more monsters. It can search for a creature missing from your combos. And it can work with Vista in the grave to make Vicious a Stroud. Yes, card's still really great. We're running the 2 copies of Reichhardt. Again, I've seen builders play 3 of this, but I think with this Bystial build, you don't need 3 of them. This card is one of the better starters in the deck. You can use this, get the revival spell, and then go into the link plays with the Scarecrow Link. Again, you can probably up this package if you're playing a pure Mannadium build. You might want to go 3 of this, 3 visas. For the orbs, we're still running the best 3 of the best one, which is Meek. This one, it's a level 2 tuner that when it's destroyed, it can summon another tuner of the same name and make it a level 4. So what this card lets you do is basically let you skip a step in your synchro climbing. You can make a level 6 synchro and then go right up into the 10. You haven't got to go through the Stardust Dragon plays. And to complement this, we have 2 copies of Torrid. Again, if you're playing pure, I would say go 3 and 3 on these. And I'm getting the second Torrid to keep this weekend, so I got a blank here. Torrid, when it's destroyed, lets you summon any Mannadium from your deck. So so basically 2 more copies of Meek. And we're still playing 2 copies of Fearless. Honestly, I'm still experimenting with these ratios. In all honesty, I probably would go 3 Torrid in the future. But for now, I'm testing out this ratio because Fearless is still a good card. It gives you a little bit of a buff. Plus, the more of these you have, the more tuners in your graveyard you have for the buff that the field spell gives you. The Bystial package hasn't really changed since last time. We're still on the 2 Libellion, the 1 Baldric, the 2 Druis Worms, and the 3 Magnamoots. In all honesty, I still like this ratio. If I'm considering going beyond 40 and playing 3 of this to give me more access to the Bystials and especially the Backrow. But 2 has worked out really good so far. 3 Magnamoots still really great. You can search any dragon at the end phase with this. I've been tempted to experiment with a couple of other dragons to see if that can work. But so far the Bystial engine is good enough on its own. Baldric is obviously good removal, especially with the trap card. Lets you remove 2 cards on the field. You could potentially, sorry, not Baldric, Druis Worm, sorry. But Baldric is a way to get rid of cards from the extra deck. You could potentially cut this if you want to cut down the Bystial package, or you could play 3 Druis Worms. You could also potentially play 2 of this. But I like this current ratio. The other thing I would say is if you're playing this package, be prepared to have something good to say them out for. Because with things like Rescue Ace getting more representation, these cards might sometimes be blanks in your hands if you draw too many. I went against Rescue Ace, actually. That was my first loss of the night. And I ended up having to set out a lot of these for Backrow hits and such cards. Just keep that in mind. I'm still choosing Ash Blossom as my hand trap of choice. You could choose Draw on Lockbird as well. But this is just more my meta kind of thing. Especially to me of the very top decks right now. I like Ash Blossom because I have trouble with Brandon sometimes. This lets me get around that. It can stop Sprite at key moments. Again, Draw might be the better choice, but I'm liking Ash. Also, the fact that it's a tuner means it gives you more power. Your light monsters a very power boost when Calamity's on the field. So there's that. And this is one change we've made. We've cut down the Assault Synchros to 1 to facilitate the new Mannadium tuners. Again, this is really good with the Bystial cards, especially with Bystial Disparter. You really only need... Also, you could probably up the deck's card count and play 2 of this. But I'm currently thinking 1's enough. We're playing one Rykophobia, one Arrival. This probably should be 2 Arrivals. I think I'll build play more of it because I can get the Visa Starfrost back. But so far this line was doing me pretty decent. We're playing 3 Calarium. This is a good starter along with the Room Heart. It can get you Mannadium monsters like Room Heart. It can let you bring back your tuners when they're destroyed, which is not only good for part of your combos, but it's good if you need to grind out and hold out for a turn if something goes wrong your first turn in a combo. And it also gives your light monsters a 100-point boost for every tuner in your graveyard, which again was one reason the Ash Blossom is good in this deck. We're playing the 1 Reframing and the 1 Breakheart. Now the last time I did this deck profile, I said that I would rather play 2 Reframing, but something I've realised since then is that you actually want more diversity in your traps. This is really good if you're behind, because it can bring back your resources, whereas this card is a good going first card, but if you draw this after your opponent's set up, it's kind of dead. So it's really, I think one of its, which is searchable, is good enough. Also, yes, it can recycle 3 cards back into your deck, but it doesn't give you any card draw, so it sort of relies on you having ways to get those resources back out once you've shuffled them back into the deck. So I think this ratio is good for now. I'm going to try out the new trap that came out in DUNE eventually, the, what's it called, the Creating Worlds trap, because I can recycle my spells and traps. So we'll see how that goes. Next we play 3 Obsidian. In this deck, it's literally just a better terraforming. It's a terraforming with a plus that can just you pop a monster, get your field spell, and if you've got the field spell, you can get one of these or any other of the Mannadium cards. And also something I didn't realize how good it was till I tried it today is that you can banish this, and it's another way to get Visa Starfrost from your hand without having to rely on shooting a monster. So it basically gives you a free extender. We're playing 1 copy of Imaginings. This is because we're playing the Bystial build. So if we draw too many Bystials, we can shuffle 1 back into the deck and try again. Provided we draw at least 1 Mannadium monster. Speaking of the Bystials, we still play the 2 continuous cards. Beast, obviously with Druid's Worm, gives you 2 pops. But this card gives you potentially 2 draws a turn. And one of the biggest problems with Mannadium is that it doesn't really have that much hand after it goes full combo. So this is good with recurring resources if the game does go long. And finally 1 Rotor, because it gets us Reichheart, gets us Room Heart. It's just an additional copy of our best starters. So that's the main deck. There's not too many changes from last time, but I do think Torrid has given the deck a lot more consistency, gives us a lot more ways to get into the Meek to make our level 10s. That's the stuff of the extra deck. Starting with the Synchros, Mud Dragon, and Stardust Charge Warrior. This could be Coral Dragon if you want it to be, but I like Stardust. I like the card better. So in this Bystial build, Mud Dragon is still a really powerful card because it has access to 2 of our best monsters in Dragoon and the Buster Blader fusion. Again, if you don't want to make those, you can just make this and continue your synchro climbing from there with the Mannadium tuners. So that's also pretty decent. Next up, we have the Buster Lock in Buster Dragon and the Destruction Swordsman. First, what this does, this makes all the cards dragons. This forces all my opponent's dragons into defensive mode, negates their effects, and he gets a buff for each dragon on the field, a 1000-point buff. And he's also a piercer, so this is a lock that's very hard for the opponent to out. And unlike the Crimson Dragon Calamity lock, it doesn't require your entire turn to set up. You can do this and still have room to make another monster on the field as well, which is why I'm liking this. Plus, unlike the Calamity thing, this is not going to get banned next list. Because yeah, Calamity is definitely getting hit soon. 1 Stardust, 1 Crystal Wing, and 1 Excel Stardust. So Excel Stardust is obviously the best card for our link climbing. So yeah, synchro climbing, we make this with a 6 and a Mannadium, or a 4 Mannadium if it's a Meek with a spin from the deck. You can then bring back a Mannadium and go right into our level 10s. In addition to this, you can also, if you're in trouble, you can quick effect, get out Stardust, which both gives you a way to protect yourself from removal and a way to do extra damage in battle phase. In addition to this, this card is amazing with a new card we got in the deck, Baron de Fleur, because you can make your Fleur with this, and then next turn, use the Fleur, bring this back, and then you can resummon out Defleur. So you're basically, if it's basically the easiest way to reset your Defleur's negate. Crystal Wing is still good on the negate. It's a really good card going second as well, because it buffs stuff up so it can do more damage. And again, Stardust is surprisingly decent right now, because a lot of Go Second decks are playing things like Raigeki and Dark Hole. And this is a good answer to that. Plus, it's still my original Ultimate Rare from the Genesis, so I'm not going to cut this anytime soon. Speaking of which, finally we have the Baron de Fleur, backing it up with Disparter. I don't actually have it yet, but I did play the Visa Synchro. As you can see, we've cut the Savage Dragon because there wasn't enough links. And we also cut Chen Yen because I wasn't really using it that much. A lot of the cards that work well going first are still decent going second, so you don't really need a dedicated going second card like Chen Yen. So with Baron, it has one negate and it can destroy a monster every turn. Then during a semi-phase, you can send it back to the extra deck and bring in a card from your graveyard. So like I said, what you can do is you can negate, pop, then reset it with this. You can just bring this back, get another tuner, bring it back out with a negate back online. Disparter, still my favourite synchro in the deck. It lets you get back the cards you pass with your Bystial. It's a monster negate that can also refill your engines by shuffling bashed cards back into your deck that you can search again. And it's just a massive body. And the Visa Synchro, it can be made with Visa Starfrost and a tuner, so you're not breaking on too many tuners. And it can get you access to cards named Visa Starfrost. So all the Backrow we've just discussed. I'll be getting this for real soon, so hopefully next time I do a profile on this, when the next set comes out, we'll have a real one to show you guys. Like I said, I am not playing the Crimson Dragon package at the moment. I may get Crimson Dragon itself at some point, because you can go Baron, you can play it to target Baron, get out Disparter, or you can get Crystal Wing out by targeting Stardust. But I'm not going to do the Calamity combo, because one, this is mostly for locals, so I don't want to be that guy. And two, because, again, it's probably going to get banned soon. I don't think it's worth getting that combo. And for the links, we have one Lightheart, one Cross Sheep, and one Appaloosa. Lightheart, obviously, is good. Basically, these all chain to each other. You go Scareclaw Rykart to make this. Get the field spell, you bring back the Rykart with the Reborn, link 2 into this. You use the Rykart and a Visa Starfrost, make a fusion, bring back a level 4. Then you've got the material to make an Appaloosa with 3 negates. So that's really good. You can also, if you don't want to do Appaloosa, you could play Access Code for a go second play, or you could play basically any good rank 4, link 4 rather. And finally, for our fusions, we have Stroud and Dragoon. So Stroud, again, going first, it's a good extender because it can pop a Mannadium orb to get Tefax off. It can pop an opponent's monster going second, and again, you can use it in that combo I just showed to get into an Appaloosa. Also going second, if you pop your opponent's monster, it gains half its points, which makes it a big monster, which makes it easy to OTK. And of course, Dragoon is just Dragoon. It's untargetable, it's indestructible. It's an only negate once per turn that gets bigger. I will say, the other thing I'll say about this card is that nowadays, I tend to just, if I can, I tend to want to go for this combo rather than Dragoon, because if a deck's full of monsters, this is very difficult to out, whereas a lot of decks have ways to out Dragoon these days. So yeah, like I said, if you want to, you can do the Chaos Dragon package with Crimson Dragon and Calamity. You could also play different links or other good generic synchros. Like Cheng Ying is still a good card you could play. And also in the pure build where you're not playing these fusions, I would say play Cheng Ying, play Crimson Dragon package, etc. So for the side deck, this is mostly, again, subjective depending on your locals. I'm playing 2 Lightning Storms and Harpies. This is to deal with heavy back row decks like Labyrinth and Rescue Ace. Also, Lightning Storm can, going second, just wipe out the front row if they don't have too many negates. 3 Lava Golem for bigger combo decks like Sprite or the Mannadium Mirror. 3 Nibiru. This is for Kashtira. That deck is still still a couple of players at the locals. I still hate playing against it, so I'm still going to side for it. 3 copies of D-Barrier. This is for Sword Soul. It's for branded. It's for Mannadium mirrors because in the pure Mannadium mirror match with this, because we can go into other cards, we can go into our links and our fusions. It's not as bad. It's still very hard to go into our fusions, but I think this card is good. It's really good for the mirror match. And finally, 3 Solemn Judgment. This is because Ash Blossom isn't very good if I'm going first, and I know I'm going first, so I usually just throw those ashes out, side this in. A lot of players who aren't familiar with playing against me don't realize what this is. They think it's a Mannadium card, so they might do plays they wouldn't really usually do if they thought there was a Solemn Judgment coming. So yeah, I really like this as a tech for if hand traps aren't that great. Again, this could be any good trap, or it could be a hand trap that you think will be better in a grind game if you think you're going along. But I really like this because it's just a hard no. It's everything but super polymerization. Other sideboard options you could play, like last time I played the Super Poly package. That's definitely an option. You could play more cards to deal with Kashtira if your meta is more in line with the actual meta. And you can also play more Backrow hate if Rescue Ace is doing well in your meta. Like you can play Cosmic Cyclones. And that's really it. So I'm still liking the Bystial build over the pure build Mannadium at the moment. I may do a profile with the Crimson Dragon build if I can get hold of it. Also, I have access to an access code token now, so expect to see that in a few profiles in the future. Thank you guys for watching. The Mail Raiders card review will be out hopefully tomorrow, and Strategic Scrutiny should be up by the end of the week. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.